Bo Nickal versus RDR. How's it going to play out in May? UFC Fight Night 256. Bo Nickal is one of the most hyped prospects in mixed martial arts. The UFC believes he can be a major star for them. They believe he could be a future middleweight champion. He was a dominant wrestler at Penn State, excellent American wrestler, NCAA champion, now in the UFC. So far, it's been a slow burn for Bo Nickal. The 29-year-old has a lot to learn in mixed martial arts, particularly in striking. His last fight with Paul Craig at UFC 309 wasn't everyone's favorite. He got some boos at the MSG crowd. He handled it quite well. However, he didn't push the pace in that fight against an opponent, while dangerous, was someone he should have beaten. Paul Craig is someone that you'd imagine Bo Nickal can beat up, submit, knock out. Wasn't the case. Bo Nickal fought cautious. It wasn't the most thrilling fight. And he got a lot of boos, and his stock dropped a little bit because of it. And, there's been a lot of talk whether Bo Nickal is overrated or not. I think we're seeing Bo Nickal develop in real time, similar to Ian Machado Gary over the last couple fights. Bo Nickal is 29 years old. He's a little older than Ian Machado Gary. Obviously, he has a lot less mixed martial arts background. Strictly a wrestling background. He's only been striking for about 3 years or so, he says. But still, Bo Nickal needs to be more active if he's learning how to strike and learning the different disciplines of mixed martial arts. He should be more active than he is. I don't think he fights enough for someone on the come up. This is going to be his first ranked opponent that he'll be facing in De Ridder. Number 13 ranked middleweight, 34 years old, former 2-division champion over at 1. It's a tough fight. Both of these guys have the ability to climb up the middleweight ranks. De Ridder is 3 inches bigger than Bo Nickal. That's going to be a difficult task for Bo Nickal to overcome. Not a guy who seems to push the pace. He seems to just kind of fight smart and safe, and he hasn't really pushed that pace yet. And if he hasn't done it yet, what's to say that he's going to do it with a guy 3 inches in height on him? I mean, I don't think Bo Nickal is going to change his approach that much. But in May, we are going to find out who Bo Nickal really is. He got a lot of criticism following UFC 309. He'll be back in the octagon. Will he change his approach? Will he be more aggressive? Will he be more entertaining? Will he go for the finish? Will he use his strengths? He didn't even use his strengths against Paul Craig. Totally avoided grappling in that fight based off of fear of submission. We'll see how it goes. But Bo Nickal, RDR, it's a really interesting fight, and I don't know if it's a fight that Bo Nickal wins. And it's a very tough fight for someone who is trying to be on the come up in the UFC, someone that the UFC is pushing to make a star. He's fought UFC 300 on the main card on that pay-per-view. He'll be fighting UFC 309. He also fought on the main card. He'll be headlining a UFC Fight Night now. I mean, this is someone that the UFC believes in. And we're going to find out just how good Bo Nickal is. not something I feel particularly confident in. I originally had Bo Nickal on our interim title show list of the 10 biggest stars in MMA right now, or the 10 fastest rising stars in MMA right now. And I took him off the list because I think some of these fighting nerds guys have been more exciting than Bo Nickal has. And the thing about being a star in the UFC, you have to be exciting. And Bo Nickal is a name. We all know who Bo Nickal is. He has name recognition to him, but he's not well liked. And that's also, you know, a way to become a star in the UFC is to be a villain. John Jones, perfect example of that. The ultimate heel. But I just don't think Bo Nickal has that same buzz and excitement around him for his next fight due to UFC 309, the way all four fighting nerds have it, the way Diego Lopez has it earning a title shot, the way that Paul Hughes had it following his PFL fight. I mean, there's guys in the PFL who have more buzz around them than Bo Nickal right now. And that's the reality. So Bo has to change things if Bo wants to be who we think Bo is supposed to be, who the UFC thinks he's supposed to be, and who Bo claims he is. He's got to change things. We'll see if he does that. But for now, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you think Bo Nickal's going to beat RDR? That's a really tough matchup for him. Former 2-division champion in another promotion. A guy 3 inches in height, more experienced than him. Going to be a tough night for Bo Nickal. Let me know if you think he can win that fight. Your thoughts on Bo Nickal? Do you think he is a legitimate star in the UFC? Do you think he is a legitimate contender for the middleweight belt? I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Interim Title Show. Follow us on Instagram @Interim Title Show. And thank you as always for watching.